better. All black, they just see me and I ghost. Make it back, all I ever needed was hope. If you take a fall, can you follow your folks? You took care of size and side that you ride.
What is happening, everyone, and welcome to today's YouTube video. For some reason, I'm in a really weird mood. I'm happy, I'm feeling good. So I thought, why not film a YouTube video for you guys? We're still in lockdown, obviously. I don't even know what week we're in. But yeah, I thought, why not bring out a video for you guys? This video is going to be a more informative video, going to be a more educational video. And it's going to be about how you guys can adapt your training programs, how you can adapt your training, your nutrition, your recovery, how you can adapt all this stuff yourself without needing a coach. So obviously, having a coach is the most optimal thing for your growth, for everyone, no matter who you are. But I think sometimes some people, for whatever reason, they can't have a coach, maybe due to financial reasons, due to just, even if you just started training, a lot of people aren't going to think, oh yeah, I'm going to get a coach, I've just started training. So I'm going to give you guys, well, I'm going to try and give you guys some ingredients that you guys, that's a good way to put it, actually. That was good, Elliot. Well done. So ingredients that you guys can use to make your training better, to adapt your own training programs, to adapt your nutrition yourself without needing a coach. It's going to help you guys be able to adapt your training program yourself, be able to sort of just be able to not rely on someone else, be able to do your own thing and learn from it. So before we get into this, let me just say, I think I have the worst trim of lockdown. Look at my head. Like, I don't even want to show you guys how bad it is, but anyway, let's talk gains. So before we start or get into anything, I just want to really emphasize the importance of just dropping your ego, no matter who you are, dropping your ego and understanding that when it comes to training, there's so much to know. You need to really just look from loads of different sources that you can, really broaden your knowledge, do research, speak to people who you know what they're talking about, have conversations about training, about diet, about nutrition, everything, just to really try and strengthen your knowledge and understanding of how you grow muscle, the basic principles of growing muscle, the basic principles of losing fat, a whole plethora of different things involving in training. But that's just something I wanted to touch on quickly, because the more knowledge you have on training, the more knowledge you know about how to gain muscle, how all these things, all this knowledge is just so important to have when you're trying to structure your own training programs. And when understanding that, all right, this isn't right, I need to adapt my training program in this way to be able to grow this certain body part, to be able to get past this plateau, if that makes any sense. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Before we start the video, well, we have started the video, but before we get into the video, I want you guys please to subscribe to me. Drop a subscribe in the box. I know for a fact that I have a lot of viewers who don't subscribe to me. So it would mean a lot to me if you guys could subscribe, like this video, drop a comment what you want to see. But yeah, I'm chasing 1K, so it would mean a lot to me. But the first thing I want to talk about is how to adapt your own training splits when necessary. So I'm one of them people who I don't believe in it's necessary to be changing your splits all the time to shock the muscle. I hate that phrase. If you know me, you know I hate that phrase. It's not a thing. You can't shock a muscle. But I think when you're looking at about adapting your training due to a certain time, you have to look at a range of different factors. For example, if you're a student right now, which I know a lot of my viewers, a lot of people who watch me are students who are doing exams, who are revising, etc. I think if you're a student, you need to look at your week at school, your week at college, your week at anywhere, and see, all right, how many times can I train in a week on average? So regularly, I need to make sure I go to the gym this amount of times in a week. If it's 4, then you need to adapt your split to a 4 time a week split. So maybe you want to be doing upper lower rest, upper lower. However, if say you have 5 times, if you can train 5 times a week, maybe you want to be doing an upper lower rest, push pull leg split. It's just completely up to you. But what I'm trying to get to you guys is that if you know that you're not going to be able to train 5 times a week, maybe 1 week every 4 weeks you might be able to train 5 times a week. If you know that you're not going to be able to train that many times in a week, then lower it down, because it's important to just have that strict routine, as I always emphasize. So what I'm trying to get to you guys is that you have to really look at the factors that are going to be affecting how many times you can train a week, no matter what it is. If you can only train 3 times a week, no matter what, you can only train 3 times a week. Say you're going to train 3 times a week and put the most amount of effort into them 3 sessions. But if that's what all you can do, then utilize it. Don't say that you're going to be training 5 times a week and miss a couple sessions or whatever. You need to focus on doing that exact thing for your own self. That's what I'm trying to say for the first point. Next, what I want to get into is the more juicy stuff. It's about your gains. So this is all about your gains really, but primarily, if there's a lagging body part that you think you need to improve more, accumulate more volume on it. You're not going to be able to grow. Say, let's use me as an example. I hate my calves. My calves are so annoying. So that's why I would train calves So that's why I train my calves every other day. So one day I do, say I'm training push on a Monday, then I do calves at the end of the session. Pull on Tuesday, I wouldn't do calves. But then I had legs on Wednesday, I'm going to do calves with legs, if that makes any sense. So you just want to be accumulating more volume towards the body parts that you think yourself are lagging, so you can improve them yourself. So say, example, you were doing a push session and you really wanted to improve your triceps. If you didn't want to improve your triceps, and everyone wants to improve their triceps, but if you wanted to really focus on growing your triceps more, then maybe do 2 exercises at the end of the session on triceps on your push days, because it's completely different for every single person. Obviously it's going to be broadly similar, but not everyone has the same goals. Not everyone has the same, not even just about competing or about where you want to be. I'm talking about your own physique. Everyone's physique is different. People have different genetics, which means that they have more developed of certain different body parts. Next, I want to talk about nutrition and diet. So one thing a lot of people ask me is, how many calories should I be on as a 15-year-old who's just started training? It's completely different for everyone. When you're trying to adapt your training program and change your calories, change your macros, you want to be really, again, looking at factors. Everything to do in this video is going to be looking at about factors which are inhibiting your performance, which are inhibiting your ability to grow muscle, your ability to train, etc., etc. You want to be looking at these factors and understanding, right, let's give right now as an example. So we're in lockdown right now. I'm not going to be moving as much as I would be just in general, let alone training. I'm not going to be training as hard. Well, I've been trying to, but obviously it's not going to be matching the intensity that we put in at the actual gym. Am I doing cardio, etc., etc.? Loads of different questions. If you have a home gym and you're training the exact same way you would be at a gym, and you're doing cardio as well, then fine. You can keep your macros the same. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're not moving around, if you're not doing training as hard, you're not going to need as much carbs. So you need to understand to yourself that, right, I'm not going to be training as hard, so I don't need as much energy. And the one thing that people should understand about carbohydrates is that carbohydrates supply us energy, as we all know. But if you have too many carbohydrates, just surplus to the demand of what we need, then they're going to turn into fats, triglycerides. So we need to use our carbs effectively. So in my opinion, right now, this depends as well on what phase of training is. Right now I'm on a mini cut, so I don't want to be consuming that much carbs. So my carbs are based pre-workout all around the workout window. So that I have my carbs pre-workout and post-workout, and maybe like a little bit of a carbohydrate snack later in the evening or in the morning, depends what I'm feeling. But I don't want to have too many carbs because I just don't need it. I don't need the carbs for energy because I'm not doing as much as I would be normally. That's what the situation right now. However, on the flip side, when we go back out of lockdown, say you're going for doing loads of cardio, doing a lot of running, and you're training really hard, then you're gonna have to up the carbs because we need the more energy. It's just about supply and demand, and about how much you need to, how much you can consume and how much you're going to be using. So the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is recovery. So right now we're in lockdown. A lot of factors with our training have been taken away. Are the gyms, or the amount of equipment we're using. There's stuff that we can't be doing right now. Big up Marvin Bain for this one. I'm going to put his ad right here because I saw an Instagram post he made yesterday, and it said about how now we're in lockdown, the training has been taken away from us. We really need to utilize what we have. So, for example, we can optimize recovery right now. We're probably going to be able to, actually no, we're definitely going to be able to have more sleep than we're usually having. We're going to we have so much time. We can sleep to improve our recovery. We can we have more time to plan our meals, to prep our meals, to make sure we're eating right. We have so much time, so we need to utilize this time to maybe do more stretching, do more mobility work, stuff that you wouldn't normally do whilst at the gym, or maybe you just don't have time for, etc., etc. Utilize this time now to do that. That it's all coming back to how to adapt and how to change your training program. Because if I kept my training program the same right now, then when it was in the gyms, then I wouldn't be growing as much because I just wouldn't be able to do it. So yeah, you just need to really think about being able to adapt your training program and utilize what you have at certain aspects. I feel like this is all fitting in nicely with lockdown, and I've really tried to focus the main topic of this being lockdown and giving you that as an example, because that is the situation we're put in right now. Everyone's in the same position. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's video. I have enjoyed recording it. Just drop a like, comment and subscribe, and just do your thing. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you so much. And yeah, peace. I'll see you guys in the next one.